Wait, and then it finally kicks in. Good evening, ladies and menfolk. Welcome to episode 77 of Word Ninjas Live. As always, I am your instigator of literary insanity, Charles. And joining me tonight are our regular co-hosts, Will.
Good evening.
I caught eating. And Calvin.
Hello.
But wait, there's more. We have special guests of special specialness. And I'm going to go down the line alphabetically, I think, maybe, possibly, perhaps. It's in the order of the little icons I see. So joining us from Turtleduck Press is Aaron.
Hi.
Katie. Kit.
Hello.
And Siri.
Hello.
And if you're wondering why Siri does not sound like an Apple phone, it's because it's a different Siri. The better one.
Sadly, I do not make any money off of it. I wish.
That sucks.
You should get royalties.
I'm working on it.
But yes, we have the entire crew of Turtleduck Press on tonight. They actually outnumber my crew. I'm not sure if this is a good thing or a bad thing.
We're gonna stage a hostile takeover.
Oh dear.
Whatever you do, please spare Flora.
We'll negotiate.
We'll adopt her. She can live with the turtle dove.
I'm okay with that.
Let's see here. We do have a few questions for all of the Turtleduck Press peoples. I figure this one's going to be more of a roundtable discussion. People are welcome to join in and answer and add on as they see fit, because I don't actually know which one of you has answers to which questions and all that. So, kicking things off, what exactly is Turtleduck Press all about anyway? For all the uninitiated. Go for it.
We're a cooperative publisher. There's 4 of us currently, and each of us has different strengths, and we're all working together to put out books in the science fiction and fantasy romance genre.
Does it have to be all of those genres at once, or can you pick and choose?
Science fiction or fantasy.
Or both, in my case.
Or both, yes.
Yeah, I do both science and fantasy together.
Nice.
It must be all of the genres.
We also have poetry and YA.
That's right. Poetry.
That would be Aaron.
That'll be me. I'm the resident poet.
Although we are not currently accepting new poetry or YA at the moment, so.
That's correct, yeah.
That's right, we've decided to focus on romance.
At some point in the website will reflect that.
Eventually.
Is that because it's February 14th is right around the corner?
Not really. That decision was made a long time ago.
Where we write, February 14th doesn't exist.
That's right.
Probably for the better.
Probably.
Hopefully certain books that have recently been turned into movies also don't exist in that verse.
It's a wonderful
Yes.
experience.
I like it already.
The next question up was, what is the origin story for Turtleduck Press?
This is a fun story.
Good way.
I'll let Kid tell it, though.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Mandatory volunteerism.
I think it's Katie's story.
That's okay. Well,
It actually started, I had Knight Errant, which is a novel it's a science fiction novel with a gay protagonist, which doesn't focus on the fact that he's gay. He's also a person of color. and I was sending it to agents in publishing and getting a lot of, we love this, but do you have anything else? Which I felt was really unfair. I really believe in that book. So I had decided that I would self-publish, and talking about it in forums where others were, we thought we might go in together and help each other out and edit each other and do some quality control on each other.
Yeah, we wanted to work together and also put out good books. That normally maybe an agent won't take it on for whatever reasons, commercial purposes, but maybe they're still very good books, so we don't want them to slip through the cracks. So we wanted to kind of bring that into the market.
So it's really a matter of all of these books are just too awesome for other publishers, so you're taking care of it yourself.
That's it.
We also wanted to play with format a bit. Like one thing that we've been doing is some of us have serials that we've been putting up on Turtleduck Press a chapter at a time.
Yep.
And that's a lot of fun. That's closer to the fan fiction experience where you write it and then you put it up, which most of our things I think are finished before we put them up. But it's a more interactive experience, and that's been fun. That's been very interesting.
Yeah, it's been fun.
That's right, and we have also done an anthology in a shared world, which was also a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. Actually, both were awesome. Both anthologies.
Let's put that on the big screen.
Yay!
Yay!
Season before.
I don't have a copy of that one.
Oh, you must get one immediately.
Actually, I think it may be on the Kindle. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, one of our anthologies is ebook only, so.
Yeah.
So going back for a minute to Knight Errant, I think it's still our best-selling book. Is that right, Katie?
I think it probably is. It still sells pretty regularly.
Yeah, I think it is
And
too.
every time I put out another Dreamverse book, it gets a boost.
I think I may be contributing to that because whenever I lend that book out, I never get it back.
Whoops.
Oh, darn.
I think
Great
I've
book.
lost
I've read it.
3 copies now at this point.
Well, that's good to hear that it's a frequently stolen book. That makes me feel good.
I have an author friend who says piracy is actually a compliment. They want to get your stuff, and then they'll, they want it that badly. They'll steal it. But who wants to be stolen?
I actually had a copy of my book stolen from my local library,
Oh, wow.
and then they had to buy a second copy of it.
Nice.
Wow.
That's
That's hard for me to comprehend because library you borrow, you don't steal.
They didn't want to give it back?
Yeah. They must have loved it. Which is
But I
awesome.
hope anyway. Not that they lost it and will never be found again.
Aw.
Nah, they wanted to keep it. Which means we should be out there more so we know where to find it.
That's right.
Mhm.
All right, next question up was, what has your process been for submissions, quality control, and publication schedules? So kind of a 3-parter, really.
Yeah.
Currently, we don't have any submissions. We are open for submissions, but we haven't had any interest, so it's just been the 4 of us, which has worked pretty well, actually. I'm the chief editor, so I do most of the first rounds, and then one of the other people does the second round of editing, so it's gone through 2 intensive rounds of editing.
Very intense.
Whatever happens before it gets to me. And we put together a professional cover, professional formatting thanks to Kit, professional website thanks to Katie, and yeah.
We can
And
always decide what book comes next based on who has something that they think is ready. Some of us have lots and lots of books that aren't ready.
That
But
would be
generally
good.
someone is ready.
Yeah, same here. I write kind of slow, so it's hard to get books ready.
Write them faster.
I know.
I need more on my shelf.
You got it. I like our editing process because you're going to edit first. As a writer, you're going to edit it anyway. But then you got two other eyes looking at it again for different things. You've already seen it 100 times, so it's really nice to have that process in place. That way, hopefully, everything gets figured out, and it's great. And I like it.
It's really wonderful working with an editor that you trust. Siri, she's awesome.
Oh yeah, she's awesome. Absolutely.
And we've worked together enough that we all trust each other, and I think it makes it a lot easier when someone goes, okay, this does not work. Okay, you're probably right.
We don't get offended. We're professionals. Okay, that didn't work. What about this? What do you think of this? Should I go this way? Or, wow, that really didn't work. Okay, better figure something else out. But there's no, getting mad or anything. It's just, we're professional about it and friends. For the most part, that's. I'm losing my train of thought. Anyway, it's great.
Probably does help that you write really good stories.
Yeah, that would help.
Yeah. And we've also tried to keep a regular publication schedule. So for the first couple of years, we put out 3 books a year. In 2014, we put out 2 books. And then every month that we don't have a book out, we put something free up on the website. So we try to keep that going regularly so that readers will know there's always new content coming.
And they have samples of our stuff, so in case they do want to buy, they can see what it's like, what we write, and then they can decide based on that. Well, this sounds good, so maybe this book will be good. That kind of thing.
How do you choose what sort of samples or little teasers get put up?
As in the freebies, you mean?
Yeah.
Usually one of us or several of us will have stories maybe written or to be written, and we just sort of like, okay, I want this slot, or can I have this slot, whatever, and it just goes through an approval process, just like kind of like the books, and then gets put up after that. But it has been read by 2 people, so it's good.
I like to use things like one of the freebies that I put up was a bit of backstory for Taro from Night Errand, which is the scene that I put up is actually in a book that I don't know when it's going to be ready. It's probably going to be a while. It was one of my first, and it needs a lot of editing. So I really enjoyed being able to get that out there, even though the book isn't going to be ready probably for a good while.
Write it faster.
We also put up teasers for upcoming novels as well on the site. That way you can read, the first 3 chapters or thereabouts and see if you like it. So that's kind of cool too.
The freebies are also where we're playing with the idea of serials and testing that out. So it allows us a lot of freedom.
Yeah, it's really good. I never even wrote short stories until I joined this Turtleduck Press. Now I find that it's a lot easier to write short stories versus a novel. It's unbelievable.
Words.
For sure. And the short stories do go through the same process. 2 people have to approve them, so we know that we've still got the quality control piece there as well.
Yep.
Next one up is, what are some of your more memorable or noteworthy experiences while at Turtleduck Press?
Memorable or noteworthy?
Well, Kit just did our first convention.
Yay!
That's right, we did. Or
how'd it go?
Kit did.
Kit did the convention by herself because we're all spread out, which makes it hard for more than one of us to go to the same convention, but
Thank you, Kit.
I liked it. We didn't really make any money from it, but I liked it. It was fun.
Got our name out there. That's one good thing. People saw our books.
Yeah,
you
we
know.
sold some books.
Yeah, we did sell. That's right.
We sold out of Under Her Protection, which is our latest anthology. So.
Hooray.
That one's really cool.
And that's pretty par for the course for conventions, is that you don't necessarily make any money, but you get your name out there. So, in that sense, it was a huge success.
Yeah, we're pretty familiar with that part.
I'm glad that we sold out on Under Her Protection, too, because I think that's my favorite of our anthologies.
Me too. Big time.
The premise with that one was men in need of rescue and the women who rescue them. And we really had a lot of fun with that. That's one of my favorite stories that I've written, I know. And I know that Erin, I loved everybody's stories for that one.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
They were great. I enjoyed it so much. In fact, I'm writing a novella that goes with that hopefully I can publish soon. But,
Her story in that was Reaper Girl.
Yes.
Sequels.
Yes. That was a fun story.
I think I'm behind on the anthologies.
Uh-oh.
Shame on me.
Flog him. Flog him.
Same.
Yeah. There's a Winter's Night, Seasons Eternal, and Under Her Protection. Oh, and the Best Of, which is
best of.
book only. So that's 4.
Yeah, I think I may only have one of them.
Get on it.
Check.
Yeah. What are you waiting for?
Yeah, they're cheap. There's really no excuse to not have the anthologies.
Now we're guilting him.
Before I get in more trouble, hey, next question. What advice would you give fellow writers and authors in regards to writing or submitting or just getting published in general?
I have something that I actually experienced through this whole process with Turtleduck Press, is that I used to think that you get an agent sells your book, everybody's happy. And I thought that for a long time and never thought about self-publishing. Well, then I realized when it started getting bigger that this is actually a cool thing. I mean, it's a story. It's about the story. You know, it's a vehicle. It's, you know, the vehicle that's going to get the story out to the public isn't so much important as getting the story out there. So I would suggest to any writers who are interested in this sort of thing to kind of look into it and see if it's something for them, and maybe not go the agent route. You know, maybe they'd be better served doing a self-publishing.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I like about doing it yourself as opposed to the more traditional submitting process. You know,
Yep.
You've got control over your cover. You have control over which content is changed before it goes out. You know, with the copy editors and stuff like that. And it's cool to be able to keep track of your statistics and everything yourself, as opposed to just relying on a publishing house to tell you what's happening.
Yep.
Every 3 months or 6 months or however often they actually do it.
Yeah, the control thing is a biggie. Because I write very slow. I don't know how I fare with an actual publisher, you know, a traditional publisher deadlines. I always feared that I would screw them up. With this, I can kind of I still have deadlines, but it's not as dire, you know, if I happen to miss something, you know, so it's a little better.
It's dire.
Well, it's dire, yes, but I don't have to give any money back, let's put it that way.
But we'll all pull together to get the book done anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't mean to make light of that. It's easier for me on my conscience than to, you know, I get an advance and I got to give it up. You know, crazy.
I would say for writing, for editing, for self-publishing, the big thing is to get some people you trust to help you.
Yep.
With writing, it's never going to be a not lonely process, but if you've got somebody you can at least talk to and bounce ideas off of. With editing, you've got to get another set of eyes on it. You can't
Absolutely.
trust yourself. You edit it and edit and edit. You don't see it anymore.
Nope.
And then with self-publishing, it's so much easier to have someone who can go, hey, your cover doesn't work. Someone who, is invested in helping you get that the way you want it to be and getting it out there. And then you can turn around and help them, and you learn from helping them. It helps me editing someone else's work. And
Oh yeah, absolutely.
we're all learning together, we're all working together, and it's the best way to go, I think.
And the other thing about being a small publisher that's sort of sitting in between traditional publishing and self-publishing is that we've learned that it's really important to present professionally. Having a professional-looking cover, a professional-looking website, even a book that's properly designed on the inside, it matters. It matters to readers. They won't necessarily know what's wrong, but they'll pick up on it. And it affects your sales. It affects how you come across, and so that's really important, even if you're going the self-published route. Make sure.
I think it's a little more important that you have everything professional, because we already got a little bit of a stigma about not being professional. That you got to work harder to actually show that you are professional. So yeah, anybody thinking of that needs to have professional, editing, cover, what have you. So that might be a challenge.
It is worth the investment.
Yes, it is worth it. It's definitely worth it.
And I'll just put in a little plug for Kit here because she offers all those services.
She's the one who made my book readable.
Yay!
Yes, that's my day job. I am a book formatter and editor, and I'm now offering coaching services to people who want to self-publish.
Nice.
Excellent.
And I would put my website here, but I can't get this to work. Technically challenged, apparently.
Google Hangouts likes to exclude at least one person every episode. And since Justin isn't on...
It's me this time.
You're the lucky one.
You're blaming Justin, okay.
What is your website again, Kit?
It's kittheeditor.com.
There you go. Nobody needs to see that written. kittheeditor.com.
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 Got it? Got it?
Makes it nice and easy for the audio listeners.
Just to make sure that I understand, kittheeditor.com.
In case there's a question. Not to be confused with kittheeditor.com.
All right. The last question we have is, of course, the hardest one ever to answer. You're really going to have to think about this one. The final question is, where can our viewers and listeners contact you and learn more about your organization?
Turtleduckpress.com.
www.turtleduckpress.com. All one word.
That's a turtle and then a duck. Press.com.
Yes, and we also have a Facebook page at Turtleduck Press and a Twitter at Turtleduck Press. So
Nice and
very
easy.
easy to find.
Real easy.
Stalk us everywhere. Please do. Well, maybe not outside our houses. That would be weird.
If you want to hang out in the cactus, you're welcome.
Or in a snowy paradise. Come on down.
Or in a snowy hellscape over here.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. With that, it's time to go to our one talkie point for this week. And the talkie point for this week is how to balance shiny new ideas amidst day-to-day obligations.
Oh, balance. I'm not good at balance.
Very hard. Very hard to strike a balance. Especially when you work a day job, you're married, you have your writing, you have your other commitments. It's tough. Really tough.
Yeah, that's why I decided to toss this topic in here, because I keep getting shiny new ideas, but I work like 3 jobs.
Oh, God.
There's no time for new ideas. I need to be working on the main idea for this year. I already
Yeah,
have a book I'm writing.
Cool.
I know that feeling.
So what you
I
do
got
is
a list of
all these new ideas into the book, and then, yeah, it'll be even shinier.
That's why it's taken me 10 years to write this book. Because I keep wondering, well, what if I do this? Or what if I add it in that? Or what if this character is suddenly a woman?
Well, you could keep tinkering with it for a long time.
I'm a
I
fan
got
of
one like that.
adding new ideas into a notebook
Yep,
or a file and putting them away.
that's
They'll
what I
still
do
be
too.
there. They will always be there, so you can come back to them. But they won't interfere with whatever you're trying to work on, mostly.
Also, when you're working on a project, like a long-term thing, like I just finished, well, I didn't really finish it yet, but the Brave Touch, which is coming out in May, I've been working on it a long time, and those new ideas tend to like take over my brain. So I got to force myself and say, no, you're not going to get rid right now. But I think the brain wants to, or the subconscious wants to go on to something new after a certain point. So it's like you got to somehow keep it, down, write them down or whatever. But it's tough.
Erin, you've done something in the past, haven't you, where you've worked on one thing one day a week and something
Yes.
else other 6
I'm
days?
doing that now, actually. I'm doing my main project 6 days a week, and then another side project, which is dire need of help. It's 11 years old, and I love the story. So I said on Sundays I'm going to work on that. So I have a lot of stuff for revision that should really be getting done first before I do any new stuff. So that's another thing I'm facing.
It's kind of interesting because I'm actually working on a nonfiction book on this very subject at the moment.
Wow.
So, wait a couple of months and I'll have a book about it. Hooray!
Awesome.
Aw, what a tease.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll buy it. I could use some help in that area.
I think with me, a big factor has been I've published 4 books, but I've written about 10. And somewhere around 5 or 6, I finally figured out that if I didn't get to it now, I would get to it if I just kept writing. And it's made it a lot easier to just, as Siri does, write it down and set it aside, because I believe that I can get there. I know, it's going to happen. I'll get it done. Just put it aside for right now, because otherwise nothing will get done.
Yeah. It's also hard to finish anything if you keep working, okay, I'll start this one, and then I'll start that one, and then I'll do this, and I'll do that. So it needs a little bit of a discipline, maybe pick 1 or 2, in my case, and work on those versus like 5. Although I have heard of people working on 5 projects at once. I guess they can do it somehow.
Maybe they have no other obligations or need to sleep or eat or go
Yeah.
outside.
Maybe they're mutants.
Or their sushi must write.
Yeah,
Yeah.
could be. Yeah.
I've heard Isaac Asimov had a ring of typewriters. And when he got stuck on one story, he'd just go on to the next and just pick it up from where he was. I don't know
That's
how
kind
you
of neat.
I don't know.
Wow,
I've heard that story, yeah.
That's awesome.
One thing to point out, though, is that he did not have a day job.
Well, that makes things infinitely easier. I don't know if I'd have enough brain power to work on like 5 or like a ring of typewriters, plots and everything for 5 or 6 or 7. That's tough.
Well, I think it helps if, if you're working while you have a day job, you can only do, a certain amount per week. But if you don't have a day job, you're writing so much faster.
Oh, yeah.
It works better. You can juggle 5.
Yeah.
In
probably.
theory, writing faster. It's that whole, the more you have to do, the more you get done.
Yeah.
I've had friends who, didn't have a job and all they were going to do was write all day and get nothing done.
Didn't happen.
Yeah.
That happens to me on weekends. I have the same problem. I'm such a routine person. I come home from work, I eat dinner, and I write. Well, on the weekends, I'm not going to work, so I'm all like, oh my God, all this time. Next thing I know, it's 10 o'clock at night. I'm brain dead, and I haven't written my words. What the hell?
Yes, I had that same problem. I even took time off work, and it did not work at all.
You almost need like a routine, I think. Some people.
Hmm.
I know some don't, but I think people like us need that routine.
You need that deadline. You need that.
And a deadline.
I've only got until this period of time, so if I don't use it, I lose it. If you have the weekend, you can keep going later. Until recently, I worked at a school where I got 2 months off every summer. And every summer, I was going to write, 3 books and edit 2 more. And, yeah, no, it doesn't happen.
No. I can imagine. Any vacation I've taken, I've only taken 1-week vacations. And I always tell myself, I'm going to write like a fiend. What do I end up doing? Next to
Everything else.
nothing or nothing.
Yep.
Crazy.
Whenever
Like
I
I have the
actually,
time, not doing it.
whenever I actually take time off, I figure, oh, I'll do all of these things. Usually that's when my body says, oh, hey, free time, let's get sick.
Oh, no.
Oh, jeez. That's sucky.
I've had that, yes.
Yeah, I've had it happen too.
I've scheduled myself to the routine of attempting to write every single night just to make sure I get something done as often as I can.
That's good. That's very good. Because it adds up after a while. Even if you don't think it's that much, it will add up. And you keep your mind in the story.
Mm-hmm. I'm happy
That's what I'm a
someone was
big
writing that
advocate
paragraph.
of daily writing. Or editing, or whatever.
Okay, you're right in the middle of my line of people, and you're the biggest one, so it's really kind of
funny.
Have any of you at any point suffered from the plague of coming up with a good idea?
I think we
to write
lost
it down
him.
on?
Oh no, not again.
We lost you.
We
We
missed
lost
all
you.
part of it.
Part of it.
Calvin!
Nobody can hear me now?
Yeah,
Now we can.
now we can hear you.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna hold.
Oh, don't do this. Richie is going to be so angry at us.
Yeah. I was saying, have any?
Again.
Charades!
Calvin, you may have to type in your question again and have someone read it aloud.
Yeah.
Okay. Good grief.
This is a
Sounds
repeat
like-
of last time where you couldn't answer a single question. Every time you went to answer it.
It died.
And then I got a
Insults.
large paragraph of just swearing in response to the audio editing when it came up. While he slowly types up whatever he's questioning, I'm going to go grab something.
And there goes our host.
What do we do? Oh no!
Oh my god.
Hermit arms.
Oh my god.
It's okay because no one knows who I am because I don't have my bar.
That's right. You're an animal.
You are Kit the Editor at kittheeditor.com.
That's right. Gettheeditor.com.
All right, so
Anyone ever
Calvin's
have an idea? Oh, go. Sorry.
for Calvin. Anyone ever have an idea that comes up in your head, and you're trying to find something to write it down, and you lose it right as you find a way to put it down?
Yes.
Ugh, hate that.
Yes.
Constantly.
I memorize everything for that reason.
I lose words in the middle of sentences I'm writing. I'll have the word in my head that I want to use for a sentence, and as soon as I get up to that word, it's just gone, and I sit there for 10 minutes trying to find synonyms.
Oh.
Both when I'm writing and when I'm speaking, as Will knows all too well.
Oh, yes.
I have voice recorder on my phone. It's on the first thing, and I even took the lock off of it so I can just hit it and start talking because I hate that. Get it? And it's great, and it's brilliant, and it's gone.
Yep. Yep. Failing memory, I'd somehow find a way to get it down somewhere in some kind of form, so I can go home and work on it. But
That's why we have a lot of Google Docs now that we can just quickly toss ideas and stuff into, so
As
that
well
we
as
don't forget
just
it.
books.
it's good.
Calvin also wants to know, any of you managed to get any of those ideas back?
Sometimes they come back.
Yeah, sometimes something will trigger it. Like if I read notes about something else, or if I'm reading just anything really, it might come back to me and trigger the memory. It's really scary when that happens, but it's good.
I've had them come back randomly myself. You least expect it, they sneak up on you.
It's pretty rare
Yeah.
that they come back for me.
If it's related to what I'm working on and it's like right where I need it to be, a lot of times when I get back to work, it's there. But normally, most of them don't know because it's not immediately useful. And if you had to choose, that's the best way to have your memory work, I guess. Brings back what you need now.
This is also why you never go anywhere without a notebook and a pen.
Yep.
Or at least a pen.
Or your phone
Yeah, phone app.
notes.
The number of times I email myself something.
Yep, me too. I've done that.
Text things from my phone to my email. Mm-hmm.
I did a conversation between two characters on text once, so I wouldn't lose it. That was fun.
I've never used Evernote, Calvin. I have OneNote on my computer.
Oh, I love
And
Evernote.
that because you can sort things like 6 ways to Sunday and still search them.
That's cool.
You can scan stuff into it. You can scan handwriting into OneNote, which is wonderful.
Oh, that is wonderful.
Yeah, OneNote is amazing. I've only begun to tap the amazing of OneNote.
Probably depends on the handwriting.
Yeah. Mine isn't legible for anybody except me, so see how that goes.
Some of ours are more legible than others.
Just keep me away from those nub pens.
We used
Unless-
the little nib pens with inkwells for one of our videos.
I successfully made blobs of ink on paper.
Oh,
So did I.
ouch.
I think most.
Oh, we lost Calvin.
Oh, poor Calvin.
Lose him again?
I'm pretty
What's
sure
really
he
funny
was-
is that Calvin has the fastest internet of us all.
Really? Holy
I-
crap, holy.
Sabotaging him.
Well, while Calvin tries to sort stuff out. I was going to see just how many books from Turtleduck Press I had, and apparently I'm in more trouble than I realized.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, I should be okay with KD, because if I can center it,
There you go.
I got 5 of her books, and then I have 1 from Kit, but apparently those are the only ones I have.
Uh-oh.
You got to get on that.
I kind of need to update, apparently.
So
We
we
have
got
15 in all.
14 or 15 books out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
Yeah, you're
some-
really behind.
And apparently I need to buy another copy of His Faithful Squire, because this one is apparently been coffeeed.
Oh,
Aw.
I'm not quite sure who did that, but it was not appreciated.
no. That's such a great book.
Rafe would not approve.
No. No, you wouldn't.
Rafe definitely would not approve.
Well, depending on how the coffee was spilled.
That's a good point.
I'm sure Katie will be devastated if you have to buy another copy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is why I don't want any of them signed. They have bad luck, it looks like.
Oh. That's different.
So then, is it better or worse to get an ebook copy?
Better, because it won't be coffeed, unless you spill coffee on the Kindle or e-reader.
That would be unfortunate.
That would be horrible. Devastating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting nervous just thinking about that.
Sorry
Definitely.
to traumatize anybody.
My Kindle is all the way over there, so it
Right.
should be safe.
I'm just loving the look on Calvin's face on the frozen.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Yeah,
Poor Calvin.
yeah.
We love you, Calvin.
I'm actually going to ask this question that was posted on the YouTube comments. I have a feeling that Richie is kind of trolling us because he does know grammar. But his question is, how much do typos in books you are reading bother you? Already published books.
Horrendously. I self-edit everything.
Yep.
And this
I
is
can't
actually
handle it.
This is an edited version of his comment. It was actually a lot worse. I just realized. That was sneaky.
Wait, he's asking about typos, and then he actually, his question wasn't.
Oh, his version was horribly miswritten. Because my reply to his was just, I'm pointing to your comment. That many typos. That's how many is too many.
Oh, the irony.
Yeah, I'm reading the latest George R. R. Martin book right now, and I've noticed a couple, not so much typos, but, inserts of the wrong word. It's like, okay, I realize it's 1,100 pages, and that's a lot to copy edit, but come on.
Yeah.
I always notice missing periods or missing quotation marks.
Yep.
I'm not sure I've ever read a book that's perfect, honestly. It seems like there's always one missing period somewhere, no matter what you do.
Yeah, that's terrible.
With Knight Errant, somehow I managed to delete every single apostrophe and quotation mark in the entire manuscript in the last edit.
Oh my God.
I'm still
That's
finding spots. I'll just glance at a page and go, oh, there's another one. So that's what I love about ebooks, because I can just fix the file quietly and no one who hasn't read it yet ever has to know. So,
that's right. Man, that would suck though. Having to replace all those. Ooh.
they
That
were
was
just gone.
totally related to me saying, you have some curly quotes and some straight quotes. Fix them, please.
Yeah, I had a few in Grave Touch that I had to go back and fix. I don't know how that happens. How you get curly quotes and a straight quote in the same document. I suck at this, I guess, but I got them all, I think.
Were you writing
Find
it?
out. We'll find out, won't we?
I'll tell you. Don't worry.
You'll tell me. You'll let me know. Okay.
I drive Siri up the wall with hyphens and stuff like that too. And one page, whatever it was, will be hyphenated. On the next page, it's not. And on the next page after that, I shoved it together and made it one word.
I've thankfully gotten a lot better about the consistency thing because I'm the unofficial editor at work. Although I prefer Chicago style and they use AP style. So I keep having to switch my brain every once in a while.
Sounds kind of confusing.
We do Chicago at work, so I just default to that.
I think I've used Chicago style in the past, but I don't even know.
AP style is special.
And this is why Turtleduck Press is mostly Chicago style, because I'm the one doing most of the edits.
That's right.
I think we universally prefer Chicago, though, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Chicago is a very nice place after all.
Parts of it.
I've never actually been to Chicago. And I live in Michigan. This has to be rectified at once.
Absolutely.
Group road trip.
Yes. Oh, look. Calvin's back.
Hi, Calvin.
Wife.
Hi, Calvin.
Hi, Calvin.
Hi.
Let's see how I sound now.
Much
Good so
clearer.
far.
We'll see how this goes.
So far, so
Very
good.
well.
Not terribly
You have to be
enthusiastic right
careful
now.
too with the wrong words and moving letters around. My friend today pointed out that the newsletter for the elementary school, they invited the people to go bowling at the Blowing Ally.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
That's extremely impressive.
and I had a principal once who was sent an email out about security, keeping the gates closed at the school, and she apologized for the incontinence.
Spell check. I'll find everything.
TMI.
That's what she meant. You know?
Holy crap.
Yeah, that's a principal talking to 50 teachers.
Now that's even scarier.
That took a while to live down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes. How's the incontinence going?
That depends.
Yes.
Well, now that we've managed to break Calvin, let's migrate to the highlights reel for this week.
Alrighty.
Alright. We're doing a simplified version of the sharing setup for our video streams. So the news piece we have for this week is from Tips for Buying Before You Dive In, which I've never gone to this website before. It's just something that I happen to find on Scoop It while I'm trolling for interesting articles. But they did do a good one last week that's titled, "These 8 Good Things Will Happen When You Start Writing Diaries." And while I am not writing in a diary or journal per se, I do have a little notebook at the moment where I'm tossing in ideas and stuff that amuses me or are just little accomplishments so that I can actually prove that life is not as horrifyingly bad as I sometimes feel it is. So I thought I'd just find this article, and it lists stuff like, you'll know yourself better. Well, if it's a diary, then chances are you're going to eventually write about yourself. So, yes, you will know yourself better. For better or worse. You'll express yourself because you're writing or doodling or putting stuff down onto paper. That is expression.
Yep.
You'll work through hard choices. That's kind of a default because life is not easy. Very few things in life are easy, so chances are if you're going to be tossing stuff into a notebook of some sort, you're going to talk about hard things. Speaking of hard things, the next one up is you'll develop emotional intimacy. I got nothing clever for that one.
Just Katie.
You'll feel better as you put your thoughts and feelings on paper. Writing is a very cathartic experience most of the time, regardless of what you're writing. Unless you're behind on a deadline, then it's just frantic. You'll build memories on paper. Okay. You'll brainstorm new ideas. Very true. I did that this afternoon for like 30 minutes because I needed to figure something out. And it is good to get stuff out of your brain and onto paper. And now to get very figurative, you'll create a map that holds secrets to your own evolution.
Okay.
Actually, what does that one even say? That is unnecessarily melodramatic. A diary reveals far more about a person than simply the details of what is written inside of it. You don't have to hold a college degree in the science of graphology, handwriting analysis, to see your own handwriting reveal secrets about your psychological state of being. Noticing how your handwriting changes as you grow older, when it is bold and confident versus when it's small and timid, is just one of the interesting benefits of keeping a diary over a long period of time. There is a typo in that sentence, and it bothers me.
I heard that.
Gotta find it.
That really throws me off when I'm actually reading, like speaking it
Me
as
too.
I read it. That's not fair. This person is mean.
Very mean.
But yeah, to our video listeners, if you happen to write in a diary or journal or notebook of some sort, what do you put in it? Do any of these actually resonate with you, or are you as amused as we are by them? And to our audio listeners, you're going to have to probably go to iTunes and post a comment via there, because that's the easiest commenting system we have for our audio stream. And
Have any of you ever wrote in a diary or kept a
Yes.
diary at any point in your life?
Yes, many, many years until college. Started out as an assignment for school, and then I just kept going and going and going and going up until college. And I got too busy.
Ah,
Yeah.
have you ever had a chance to revisit it at any point?
Oh yeah, I've read them. It's very interesting, especially with like your memory is not always as good, as sharp, and like really far into the past. But then you can remind yourself what's going on by reading it and your feelings and all that good stuff. It's very interesting.
I've done it as well. Not regularly for a while, but definitely in the past. And every time I travel, I keep a trip journal.
That's awesome. I wish I could do that.
I've never written in a diary, but at one point in my life, I did have a live journal.
Ah,
I wrote in
so did I.
regularly.
Yes, live journal.
I like to collect notebooks and neat things. I love this. This has a leather cover. I sniff it. I have an entire page here that's like, well, I'm not going to show that page. That page is an entire page of swearing.
Oh, come on.
Out loud. Generally, when I start journaling, I end up with story ideas and stuff. For instance, here I have, this morning I was thinking how Ishan and Hiro, they'll be in the next book I'm putting out, are like the sun and moon. I don't know what to do with that, though, especially as a sun and moon already exist. Brilliant pieces like that, yes, and then I'll get notes that I don't remember why I wrote them or what they meant. But, yeah.
That's actually interesting, though, the metaphor. If you just take it as it is, you know? It's actually very interesting.
Yeah, except that I think Hiro's going to be blowing things up, and the sun doesn't usually do that.
Well, depending on how many of the dream crew you get together.
It's actually a fantasy universe. So he will actually be blowing things up with fire. It's very fun.
Oh my.
Wow. Cool.
For
Fire for the win.
For the video stream, just as a reference, this is my little notebook that I'm currently playing with.
Nice.
Oh, that's neat.
It's kind of a funky little cover with a scorpion on it. And
Wow.
I've just been tossing stuff in every once in a while, like, hey, I actually accomplished something worthwhile. I should remember this, so I don't
Hooray.
feel like an
That's
idiot
good.
later on.
It's good. It's awesome. I need to do that. My hand got injured about 11 years ago, my left hand, the one I write with. So I'm unable to actually sit down and actually handwrite for more than like 10 minutes without excruciating pain. So that kind of sucks for journaling. But I would love to get back into it if I could.
Maybe.
I kind of looked at Indiana Jones and Harriet. I bought it.
Whoa, what happened?
I went back on the screen share.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Because, alright, we've done that one. We have 2 book promotion things because both Story Bundle and Humble Bundle updated this week. It's becoming dangerous to get those emails every week because I keep seeing them and I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. This one isn't really my style, but it is somewhat timely considering February 14th is next week. Their latest one that just came out is the Erotic Romance Bundle.
Wow.
So if you're not really one for the current book choice out there, and you probably shouldn't be, there are some quality options out there, and they're actually at a pretty decent price. Let's see, if you do up to $10. So for $10, you can get 9 books.
Oh, wow.
Well, 9
That's cool.
ebooks anyway. But you got Temptation Under Mr. Nolan's Bed by Selena Kitt. You have Angry Sex by Summer Marsden. Torn Asunder by Kiki Howell. The ESP Affair by Allison Tyler. On the Way Home by Skye Warren. Modern Wicked Fairy Tales by Selena Kitt. That one looks fun.
It does.
Bittersweet by Summer Marsden. Rituals by Kiki Howell. And Allison on Top by Allison Tyler. I hope that's not a biography. But it is nice with Story Bundle. You can actually click on each book. It'll pop up with a little summary of what the book is actually about. A couple of reviews. You can even get a little excerpt to really see what you're getting into and all that good stuff. And like I said, it's only $10 to get 9 books. If you do under $10, you only get 5 books.
Ah. So there's a good incentive to get 9 books versus 5.
Yes. And one thing I like about Story Bundle is you can actually set how much of your total goes to the authors versus how much goes to the Story Bundle website.
Oh, wow.
So if you wanted to give the authors 100% of your price, you could do so.
Oh, that's neat. I like that.
And they usually give you the choice of donating 10% to a charity, usually either Mighty Writers or Girls Right Now. Every once in a while they slip another one in there, I think, but those are the two main ones. So I really like promoting this site whenever I get the opportunity.
I think we looked at it once about maybe submitting our books for their bundles. I don't think we ever did anything with it.
I don't think we did either.
Probably look again.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with what their submission guidelines are, but they're constantly putting bundles together, and they're all interesting.
I see they've got an indie fantasy one there, so.
Yep, I think we did that one a couple episodes ago. That one has 8 books at the moment, with 8 days left to purchase it.
So there's a deadline?
Yeah, it's usually 3 to 4 weeks for any given bundle. Like,
Okay.
indie fantasy is currently 8 days. Erotic romance is the most recent, so that's 22 days. Cozy mysteries are 15 days.
Okay.
And then their NaNoWriMo writing tools bundle is just there. That one does not have a countdown.
Awesome.
And that one you get 12 books.
Wow. That's awesome. I like that.
I'm a collector of writing books, kind of a carried away collector. It helps me get going. You know, I don't necessarily take all the advice that I read, and I don't let all of it stick in my head, because then I never write anything. But it does
Yeah.
get inspired to write some more.
Well, if none of these books quite do it for our viewers or listeners, we have more! Because the Humble Bundle came out with their Humble Brainiac book bundle. That's a bit of a mouthful.
Yeah.
This one you only have a little under 14 days, although it just came out. But for the Brainiac book bundle, if you're not quite sure what that would entail, we have Ruby Wizard, an introduction to programming for kids, which is pretty cool because Ruby is a very interesting programming language, from what I can tell. So it's cool that they're able to parse it down for youngins or people like me that don't really do programming languages.
Very interesting.
And they got Lauren Ipsum, a story about computer science and other improbable things. Snip, burn, solder, shred, seriously geeky stuff to make with your kids. I kind of want that one for my crew. The Lego Adventure Book, Volume 1. Cars, Castles, Dinosaurs, and more. The Manga Guide to Electricity.
That's awesome.
The manga guides for anything are fantastic. They're hilarious to look through. And they do a lot of topics. If you pay... So that's if you pay any amount, you get those 5 books. If you pay the average, which is currently $13, that just goes up and down, you also get Lego Space, Building the Future. The Manga Guide to Physics. Python for Kids, a playful introduction to programming. Incredible Lego Technic, Cars, Trucks, Robots, and more. I kind of want that one. Build Your Own Website, a comic guide to HTML, CSS, and WordPress.
Ooh.
And more
That's
books coming
interesting.
soon. So they will add a couple more before the bundle actually runs out. So even if you get it now and they add more later, you can get the others later, which is nice.
That's very nice.
And if you were to go all out and pay $15 or more, you get 3 more books. You can now get JavaScript for kids, Steampunk Lego,
Yay!
Yay.
and the Lego Neighborhood book, Build Your Own Town.
Nice.
All right, I gotta see, what is Steampunk Lego? Filled with dirigibles and floating cities, penny farthings and pirate ships, curiosities and robots galore. Steampunk Lego is an illustrated collection of Victorian-era sci-fi treasures, all built from Lego.
Do want.
This full-cover coffee table book showcases an eclectic variety of models designed by dozens of the world's best Lego artists. Grab your brass goggles and join fictional explorer Sir Herbert Jobson as he travels the world cataloging its technological wonders for Queen Victoria. One of us has to get this.
We have a squid.
That's a good start. I have a friend who needs to hear about that.
Hi, squid.
This is Huxley.
Huxley. Stop. He's so cute.
Huxley will be in my next book.
Awesome.
Huxley the Lens Squid came from the Keeperverse, which is the next one up.
That's right.
And
I
just
remember.
for our audio listeners, the Story Bundle stuff is at storybundle.com. The Humble Bundle stuff is humblebundle.com. I really like that the Humble Bundle has expanded beyond just a random bundle each week to actually having one specifically for books. Although it is dangerous for my budget.
Oh, yes.
I have a problem with book buying. Oh, 99 cents. I'll buy it. $1.99. I'll buy it. What the hell?
Why am I still screen sharing? Meh. Not allowed to screen share the show notes. No spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay, next up is our productivity and inspiration station. It is the merger of our productivity segment and our inspiration segment because they really do go hand in hand. So going forward, we're just merging the two. So each week, whenever any of us have had something productive or something really frustrating get in our way of productivity or something inspiring, we get to talk about it. And I'm still going to keep the regular rotation because reasons. Which means that I get to go first. As far as my productivity is concerned, I have finally synchronized the Libsyn feed with our website posts. So as of this recording, all of the audio episodes that have been edited are live and are linked to their respective show notes on our website.
Awesome.
So if you go to our website, fcwriters.com, and check any of the older episodes, if the audio episode is there, it's because it's supposed to be there. If a post does not have it quite yet, we're working on it. Well, Richie's working on it. And because it's February, I have officially started my Slash and Burn trilogy 2015. Because I've spent my month organizing and outlining and figuring out just what the heck is going on, so now I have officially started the novel. It is scary.
Sometimes starting is the hardest part.
I am not as nearly far in as I would like to be, but I am making steady progress, and that makes me happy.
That's
Go to the ball.
hard. Good job.
And the inspiration for this week, I have been sketching, and I have been pushing myself to try and figure out how to do this frickin' sketch. Unfortunately for the audio listeners, you're just not going to really understand it, but let's put this in a way that people can see it on the video stream. I've been trying to figure out these two damn characters for 3 weeks now.
Really?
I'm slowly figuring it out to the point where I'm actually getting happy with it.
Yay!
Awesome.
Or at least I'm not constantly erasing bits and pieces of it.
I can't
Hopefully-
draw for crap, so, you know.
This is where I've gotten in under 6 months.
Nice.
That's still better than what I would have done.
Well,
August
that's-
23rd is apparently when I officially started sketching again, because I can track it via Facebook when I posted about it. So less than 6 months in, and I'm actually getting comfortable with certain things, and that makes me happy.
Yay.
It's good. It's very good.
I use my track stuff, so if you ever need to know how to light the furnace pilot light, that information is in my blog.
Awesome.
I might have to track that down.
It has a squid.
So, how has Will fared
Get down.
this last week?
Cephalopod.
How have I fared? I'm starting to get into the routine of the daily video game recording for our YouTube page for the recently christened Game Break. Calvin's little burst of creativity there for what to call it.
I'm proud of that. I'm even prouder of the intro I made.
That intro is amazing, and I love being able to use it.
We have another squid. It's Squid Day.
We're having a squid party.
I don't have any squid.
I don't have any squids. Squides. So, yeah, I'm going to start recording probably Monday through Fridays, so that videos can also be up the next Monday through Friday after I record them. So even after this, I'm going to be editing. Yay!
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 Yay! I don't have a squid. I have a fox.
I also raise you a chicken and a Pikachu. Yeah, and biting pears somewhere around here.
I don't have anything exciting.
I did discover I have to play with Shadowplay a bit more because it's being iffy with me and not letting me record some games now.
Was it working beforehand?
Well, I was going to record Tiny and Big yesterday, and when I opened up Tiny and Big, the option to activate recording was not available, even though Shadowplay was on. And when I went to record today, I popped in a game to play to set the video settings, and I had Shadowplay on the background, and it was there. I turned it off to set my computer settings the way I needed to do them, turned the game back on, Shadowplay was not there. Closed the game, opened it again, Shadowplay was there.
That's just weird.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to figure that one out. Writing for a roommate is progressing steadily again. Yay! I'm actually hoping to finish the writing a first rough draft of the next chapter tonight. And then I can start typing it up and doing all the editing and hopefully have it out by the end of the month. And I, too, have been sketching. Not as much as CJ, but there was like 1 or 2 days where I just grabbed a little notebook and just started sketching.
That's awesome.
Yay.
Yay.
Little in the book. My own little book. Not the book that CJ got me for Christmas, which is a big book. Yeah, see, I was doodling. I don't even know if that's...
Yep.
Yeah, kinda.
It's bright with my backlight. I was watching a friend of mine stream practicing drawing, and I was like, I want to draw too, so I just started drawing. That was my inspiration. It is contagious.
Well, on productivity, I started the revision of Grave Touch, my forthcoming novel.
Yay.
Finally. So, yay.
Hooray.
Yay.
How did Calvin fare this last week?
Let's see. I think I did okay this week. Let's see. Last week, the nightmarish hellscape of a website that I'd been working on for like 8 months is finally done. Finally.
Oh my god. Awesome.
The client finally approved the design, and the site is now up and running. I wish I could say I'll never see it again, but I'm gonna have to update it semi-regularly. But at least I don't have to code it anymore. Ugh,
Awesome.
jeez.
Now you
I
can work on
see.
our 20 sites.
I
At
had the
least,
same kind of thing with a client a long time ago when I was doing web design, and same thing. He kept wanting change after change after change. Luckily, I was getting paid very well for it, so I didn't care. But getting all the work together was a challenge, but worked out for both of us.
such is the life of a web designer.
Yep.
Alright, let's see, what else? What else was there? I started a couple more song ideas for the Infinity's Light project.
Neat.
Those are coming along relatively well. Infinity's Light is the manga project I was asked to write the soundtrack for. So that's pretty
Wow.
exciting.
That's very cool. Wow.
Yes.
I'm impressed.
Multi-talented.
As am I, and
Yeah.
I never never would have imagined working on a soundtrack ever.
That's
So,
pretty amazing.
Yeah. That's awesome sauce.
and as I mentioned a little bit earlier, I put together an intro for a YouTube segment that we're putting together called Game Break, and if I can remember how to screen share, let's see, and share. Okay, this I put together. It's basically a pixel art introduction intro graphic. Pixel art is a real pain in the ass to put together, but it's a lot of fun once it's done.
Wow.
That looks awesome.
That's neat.
You can check out the first Game Break video using it, currently up on our YouTube channel. First, second. Did I use it twice so far?
I think twice so far.
Yeah.
I don't think it was on episode 1.
Okay, so it was on episode 2. And episode 3 up today, where you can see me get overly emotional at the end of the Stanley Parable.
Now I'm curious
Seriously,
which
that was the
ending you
most
got.
emotional ending I've seen from that game so far.
That was quite an ending. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that's how last week fared. It was actually really good.
Yay.
Sounds like it.
Does that cover about everybody?
Yeah, seems like it. And with that, we are moving on to events. The next one up is just Book Expo, still in May, at the end of the month. We are still waiting for press logistics. Still. I want a press badge.
I'm jealous.
I hope we get it this year.
We'll see. If not, I'm just going to get the full attendee badge for the entire time and take the days off so I can go every single day and actually space things out a bit.
Okay.
Because even cramming Book Expo into 3 days is crazy.
Wow.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, it does.
It's like New York Comic Con, but with books.
Oh.
Wow.
We actually did book haul videos last year of all the books and shiny baubles that we got. We had to do one each day because there was too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we tend to accumulate books. E-books or otherwise.
Hmm.
got hundreds, thousands.
I think I still have
Not a terrible.
250 in my pile to be read.
Me too. I got a whole bookcase to be read.
Yep.
And I read fast. That's the scary part. I can read 2 or 3 books at the same time quickly, but I'm so far out now that I'm still not making any dent in it. It's crazy. Such is the life.
And for those of you who regularly tune into our show, you are going to notice a pretty solid change going forward. We are no longer going to be doing our Muse Food segment on the live stream. We have actually spun that out into its own standalone thing, which is going to be posted every Saturday. We're not quite sure if it's going to be the morning or the afternoon. Realistically, it's going to be the afternoon. So keep an eye out for Saturday at some point. Each week we'll be posting our rendition of the Muse Food segment and opening it up for people to submit their responses so that potentially we could read the responses on the live stream going forward. That would be nice. That would be the ideal situation. But that means no more Muse Food on the live stream. And with no more Muse Food on the live stream, we're actually out of segments for this week's episode.
Oh no!
Oh my God.
Which means we're actually going to end, I don't know if we're on time or early, considering we've been averaging an hour and a half, so pretty much on time in that regard. But seeing as it is time to start wrapping things up, as always, if we have entertained you in any way, shape, or form, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you can watch, comment, and thumbs up on our various videos. If you are more of an audio stream listener, then go to iTunes and leave a review or a comment so that you can talk to us via that method. As far as social media is concerned, you can talk to us via Twitter at FCWordNinja. Bonus points if you use the hashtag WordNinjas. You can follow us over on Tumblr, fcwordninja.tumblr.com, or you can go like our Facebook page and talk to us there, facebook.com/fullcoveragewriters. Please come and converse with us. We like talking to peoples. And if you want to help fund any of our various endeavors, you can go peruse our Etsy store, which is etsy.com/shop/fullcoveragewriters. You can purchase all sorts of shiny baubles like bookmarks, buttons, magnets. Our book, our audio book is up there, our Warping Time booklet, all sorts of cool things. All of that helps fund our various shenanigans, convention attendance, tech recording upgrades so that Calvin can be heard on a more reliable basis, global domination through the use of squids, you know, the usual stuff. And if you are new to our show, the Word Ninjas Live show is brought to you by Full Coverage Writers, which is our overall organization. Full Coverage Writers is a repository of resources for writers, providing this show, the Muse Food segments, interviews, worksheets, workshops, and all sorts of other shiny baubles. Go check it out over at fcwriters.com. And with that, it is time to actually tell our viewers and listeners just who all were we crazy peoples on this episode and where can they track us down. I will go down the crew list, and then anyone from Turtleduck Press is welcome to toss out a social media link of some sort that they're comfortable sharing if they so choose. But starting with myself, if you want to talk to me, you can track me down on my personal Tumblr, which is fancypantswolf.tumblr.com. If, for whatever reason, you want to track my progress with the Slash and Burn trilogy, that's slashandburntrilogy.tumblr.com. And you can also see me on the Fairy Tale podcast on Monday nights over on their channel, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And where can people find Will?
You can usually find me on my Tumblr page at darkome.tumblr.com. That's my personal page where I post and reblog whatever I feel like it, but it's also probably the fastest way to get in contact with me directly. You can also keep track of my progress towards my serialization, My Roommate's a Stripper, at myroommate'sastripper.tumblr.com.
And how about the talking chicken? Calvin.
Let's see. What's the best way to find me at the moment? You can find me on Tumblr. You can find me at instacal.tumblr.com. Twitter and Instagram is at ccwii. SoundCloud is soundcloud.com/soundsbycalvin. And really quick plug for one of the many websites that I run. I'm the digital media editor at the music website Riff Raff, which is celebrating its 5th anniversary this month.
Oh,
You
snap.
can find, yeah. It's riffraff.net, riffraf.net. Shout out to Richard Fulco, the founder of Riff Raff. I definitely do appreciate him signing me up to take part in this amazing website, and I can't wait to see what else happens with it.
He was a lot of fun to have on our show, too.
Yeah, Richard's good people. Quick random fact: before I started with Riff Raff, I met him about 13 years ago. He was my high school English teacher.
Oh my god. That's awesome.
Yeah. So we got a bit of history. Nothing but good memories. One of the few English classes at my high school that I enjoyed.
Awesome. Those are rare.
Yes.
All right, moving down the Turtleduck Press line, where can people find Aaron?
People can find me or otherwise stalk me at my website, www.aaronzaro.com. My blog, which is http://www.aaronkendall, all one word, .wordpress.com. Twitter, ekendall. Facebook page, Aaron Zaro Author. And a Turtleduck Press, obviously, also.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it.
And how about KD?
My blog and website, which is kdsarge.com. On Twitter at kdsarge. On Tumblr at kdsarge.
That's too consistent for me. How will I ever remember? And how about Kit?
I've got my website and blog at kitcampbellbooks.com. Or if you want editing stuff, there's kittheeditor.com. Oh, there goes the squid. Twitter is at Kit Campbell, and I have a Tumblr at kit-campbell.tumblr.com. Although be aware that you will get a lot of Star Trek gifs if you look at that.
There are worse things.
You're not a bug.
And how about Siri?
I've got a blog at siripaulson.wordpress.com, and I'm on Twitter at Siri_Paulson. And I think that might be it.
Gasp. I also have a Facebook, Katie Sarge.
You forgot one.
And also, turtleduckpress.com, at Turtleduck Press on Twitter, and Turtleduck Press on Facebook.
Definitely go check them out, guys. They are fantastic peoples.
Yes,
And
we are.
fantastic
Yes,
writers.
but
I'm going to have to agree with that.
All right, ladies, menfolk, and everyone else, that wraps it up for episode 77 of Word Ninjas Live. Tune in next week for episode 78. Hey, look at that, the numbers go up. Where we'll actually be having these people on again. Only this time round, we're actually going to be asking them individually about their respective works. So we're going to go kind of on a deeper dive next time round.
Yay.
Excellent.
Hey, thank you, full coverage writers.
Yep, thank you for having us.
Thank you
Been
for
fun.
joining us.
Thank you, and looking forward to next week.
Yeah, me too.
Until next week, everyone, have a good night.
I think that chicken is back to Calvin.
Hey, and then it finally kicks in. Good evening, ladies and menfolk. Welcome to episode 77 of Word Ninjas Live. As always, I am your instigator of literary insanity, Charles. And joining me tonight are our regular co-hosts, Will.
Good evening.
I caught eating. And Calvin.
Hello.
But wait, there's more. We have special guests of special specialness. And I'm going to go down the line alphabetically, I think, maybe, possibly, perhaps. It's in the order of the little icons I see. So joining us from Turtleduck Press is Aaron,
Hi.
Katie, Kit,
Hello.
and Siri.
Hello.
And if you're wondering why Siri does not sound like an Apple phone, it's because it's a different Siri. The better one.
Sadly, I do not make any money off of it. I wish.
Yeah, it sucks.
You should get royalties.
I'm working on it.
But yes, we have the entire crew of Turtleduck Press on tonight. They actually outnumber my crew. I'm not sure if this is a good thing or a bad thing.
We're gonna stage a hostile takeover.
Oh dear.
Fun.
Whatever you do, please spare Flora.
We'll negotiate.
We'll adopt her. She can live with the turtle dove.
I'm okay with that.
Let's see here. We do have a few questions for all of the Turtleduck Press peoples. I figure this one's going to be more of a roundtable discussion. People are welcome to join in and answer and add on as they see fit, because I don't actually know which one of you has answers to which questions and all that. So, kicking things off, what exactly is Turtleduck Press all about anyway? For all the uninitiated.
That one.
Go for it.
We're a cooperative publisher. There's 4 of us currently, and each of us has different strengths, and we're all working together to put out books in the science fiction and fantasy romance genre.
Does it have to be all of those genres at once, or can you pick and choose?
Science fiction or fantasy.
Or
And
both, in my case.
or both, yes.
Yeah, I do both science and fantasy together.
Nice.
It must be all of the genres.
We also have poetry and YA.
That's right. Poetry.
That would be Aaron.
That'll be me. I'm the resident poet.
Although we are not currently accepting.
I like our editing process because you're going to edit first. As a writer, you're going to edit it anyway. But then you got 2 other eyes looking at it again for different things. You've already seen it 100 times, so it's really nice to have that process in place. That way, hopefully, everything gets figured out, and it's great. And I like it.
It's really wonderful working with an editor that you trust. Siri, she's awesome.
Oh yeah, she's awesome. Absolutely.
And we've worked together enough that we all trust each other, and I think it makes it a lot easier when someone
yeah.
goes, okay, this does not work. Okay, You're
Yeah,
probably
we
right.
don't,
You know?
we don't get offended. We're professionals. Okay, that didn't work. What about this? What do you think of this? Should I go this way? Or, wow, that really didn't work. Okay, better figure something else out. But there's no, getting mad or anything. We're professional about it, and friends. For the most part, that's. I'm losing my train of thought. Anyway, it's great.
Probably does help that you write really good stories.
Yeah, that would help.
Yeah. And we've also tried to keep a regular publication schedule. So for the first couple of years, we put out 3 books a year. In 2014, we put out 2 books. And then every month that we don't have a book out, we put something free up on the website. So we try to keep that going regularly so that readers will know there's always new content coming.
And they have samples of our stuff, so in case they do want to buy, they can see what it's like, what we write, and then they can decide based on that. Well, this sounds good, so maybe this book will be good. That kind of thing.
How do you choose what sort of samples or little teasers get put up?
As in the freebies, you mean?
Yeah.
Usually one of us or several of us will have stories maybe written or to be written, and we just sort of like, okay, I want this slot, or can I have this slot, whatever, and it just goes through an approval process, just like kind of like the books, and then gets put up after that. But it has been read by 2 people, so it's good.
I like to use things like one of the freebies that I put up was a bit of backstory for Taro from Knight Errant, which is the scene that I put up is actually in a book that I don't know when it's going to be ready. It's probably going to be a while. It was one of my first, and it needs a lot of editing. So I really enjoy being able to get that out there, even though the book isn't going to be ready probably for a good while.
Write it faster.
We also put up teasers for upcoming novels as well on the site. That way you can read, the first feature.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, one of our anthologies is ebook only, so.
Yeah.
So going back for a minute to Knight Errant, I think it's still our best-selling book. Is that right, Katie?
I think it probably is. It still sells pretty regularly.
Yeah, I think it is
and
too.
every time I put out another Dreamverse book, it gets a boost.
I think I may be contributing to that because whenever I lend that book out, I never get it back.
Whoops.
Oh, darn.
I think I've lost 3 copies now at this point.
Well, that's good to hear that it's a frequently stolen book. That makes you feel good.
I have an author friend who says piracy is actually a compliment. They want to get your stuff, and then they'll, they want it that badly. They'll steal it. But who wants to be stolen?
I actually had a copy of my book stolen from my local library.
Oh, wow.
And then they had to buy a second copy of it.
Nice.
Wow. That's hard for me to comprehend because library you borrow, you don't steal.
They didn't want to give it back?
Yeah. They must have loved it. Which is awesome.
But I hope anyway. Not that they lost it and will never be found again.
Aww.
Nah, they wanted to keep it. Which means we should be out there more so they know where to find it.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next question up was, what has your process been for submissions, quality control, and publication schedules? So kind of a 3-parter, really.
Yeah.
Currently, we don't have any submissions. We are open for submissions, but we haven't had any interest, so it's just been the 4 of us, which has worked pretty well, actually. I'm the chief editor, so I do most of the first rounds, and then one of the other people does the second round of editing. So it's gone through 2 intensive rounds of editing.
Very intense.
Whatever happens before it gets to me. And we put together a professional cover, professional formatting thanks to Kit, professional website thanks to Katie, and yeah.
But then we decide what book comes next based on who has something that they think is ready. Some of us have lots and lots of books that aren't ready,
That
but
would be
generally
me.
someone is ready.
Yeah, same here. I write kind of slow, so it's hard to get books ready.
Write them faster.
I know.
I need more on my shelf.
You got it. Chapters or thereabouts, and see if you like it. So that's kind of cool too.
The freebies are also where we're playing with the idea of serials and testing that out. So it allows us a lot of freedom.
Yeah, it's really good. I never even wrote short stories until I joined this Turtleduck Press. Now I find that it's a lot easier to write short stories versus a novel. It's unbelievable.
Words.
For sure. And the short stories do go through the same process. 2 people have to approve them, so we know that we've still got the quality control piece there as well.
Yep.
Next one up is, what are some of your more memorable or noteworthy experiences while at Turtleduck Press?
Memorable or noteworthy?
Well, Kit just did our first convention.
Yay!
That's right, we did. Or
How'd it go?
Kit did.
Kit did the convention by herself because we're all spread out, which makes it hard for more than one of us to go to the same convention. But
Thank you, Kit.
I liked it. We didn't really make any money from it, but I liked it. It was fun.
Got our name out there. That's one good thing. People saw our books.
Yeah, we sold some books.
Yeah, we did sell. That's right.
We sold out of Under Her Protection, which is our latest anthology. So.
Hooray.
That one's really cool.
And that's pretty par for the course for conventions, is that you don't necessarily make any money, but you get your name out there. So in that sense, it was a huge success.
Yeah, we're pretty familiar with that part.
I'm glad that we sold out on Under Her Protection, too, because I think that's my favorite of our anthologies.
Me too, big time.
The premise with that one was men in need of rescue and the women who rescue them. And we really had a lot of fun with that. That's one of my favorite stories that I've written, I know, and I know that Erin, I loved everybody's stories for that one.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
They were great. I enjoyed it so much. In fact, I'm writing a novella that goes with that hopefully I can publish soon. But,
Her story in that was Reaper Girl.
Yes.
Sequels.
Yes. That was a fun story.
I think I'm behind on the anthologies.
Uh-oh.
Shame on me.
Flog him. Flog him.
Same.
Yeah. There's a Winter's Night, Seasons Eternal, and Under Her Protection. Oh, and the Best Of, which is
best of.
book only. So that's 4.
Yeah, I think I may only have one of them.
Get on it.
Check.
New poetry or YA at the moment, so.
That's correct, yeah.
That's right, we've decided to focus on romance.
Some point in the website will reflect that.
Eventually.
Is that because it's February 14th is right around the corner?
Not really. That decision was made a long time ago.
Where we write, February 14th doesn't exist.
That's right.
Probably for the better.
Probably.
Hopefully certain books that have recently been turned into movies also don't exist in
Yeah,
that verse.
it's a wonderful
Yes.
personal experience.
I like it already.
The next question up was, what is the origin story for Turtleduck Press?
This is a fun story.
Get away.
I'll let a kid tell it, though.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Mandatory volunteerism.
I think it's Katie's story.
That's okay. Well,
It actually started, I had Knight Errant, which is a novel with it's a science fiction novel with a gay protagonist, which doesn't focus on the fact that he's gay. He's also a person of color. And I was sending it to agents in publishing and getting a lot of, we love this, but do you have anything else? Which I felt was really unfair. I really believe in that book. So I had decided that I would self-publish, and talking about it in forums where others were, we thought we might go in together and help each other out and edit each other and do some quality control on each other.
yeah, we wanted to work together and also put out good books. That normally maybe an agent won't take it on for whatever reasons, commercial purposes, but maybe they're still very good books. So we don't want them to slip through the cracks. So we wanted to kind of bring that into the market.
So it's really a matter of all of these books are just too awesome for other publishers, so you're taking care of it yourself.
That's it.
We also had to play with format a bit. Like one thing that we've been doing is some of us have serials that we've been putting up on Turtleduck Press a chapter at a time.
Yep.
And that's a lot of fun. That's closer to the fan fiction experience where you write it and then you put it up, which most of our things I think are finished before we put them up. But it's a more interactive experience, and that's been fun. That's been very interesting.
Yeah, it's been fun.
That's right, and we have also done an anthology in a shared world, which was also a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. Actually, both were awesome. Both anthologies.
Let's put that on the big screen.
Yay!
Yay!
Season before.
I don't have a copy of that one.
Oh, you must get one immediately.
Actually, I think it may be on the Kindle.